Is Ricciardo finished with McLaren? The 2022 season for Ricciardo has been a very disappointing one. For things to be more painful for him, 2021 wasn't very kind to him either. True, he managed to win a race after a long period of time, having a very difficult season up until Monza too. But ever since then, his performance has started downgrading on a serious matter. Things have gone to the extent that even the team's principal, Zak Brown, has expressed his disappointment when it comes to Ricciardo's performance. Also, he didn't spare any words when it came to praising Lando and his ability to outperform the car that he's currently in. Overall, McLaren is in a very roller coaster situation right now, and the future of the Honey Badger is still hanging in the air. So, what will happen with the Aussie? Is there a way that his deal will be terminated earlier than anticipated? Or will he find some hidden pace up his sleeve? Before we start explaining Ricciardo's situation, we'd like to ask for a subscribe and like, as that will help us grow more as a channel. This way, we will be able to deliver more top-notch content to you and we'll be able to respond to your honest opinion. Therefore, we will improve our channel with every video passed by. So back to business. Ricciardo has arrived in McLaren in 2021 from Renault, now Alpine. He has had a stellar performance in Renault, and although the car has had some difficulties, Ricciardo has managed to win 2 podiums for the team. This was very much appreciated because the team has had a very long drought when it comes to podiums, and Krill Abiteboul was more than grateful to Daniel for achieving this feature. This has led to him moving into a much more prospective and championship caliber team, as even Daniel himself said that the goal is to win the championship. In the first season, McLaren was holding their ground for number 3 as they were fighting very close with the Ferraris. However, this was mostly due to the Italian cars underperforming on a serious matter and Norris managing to bag podiums very frequently. Daniel's performance from 2021 could be circled by his win in Monza, and everything else was, well, let's just say around average. However, nobody could have prepared us for Ricciardo's performance in 2022. Yes, the team has had some problems from the beginning, with the main one being the overheating of the brakes. This has caused the cars to run slower and just cruise to the end, as they finish way below the points in the debut. When everybody thought that the McLaren are the new Williams, they bounced back. Currently, they are holding the number 4th place in the Constructors' Championship, but they aren't there because of Daniel. Lando Norris has scored a major part of the McLaren points, and currently the team is in a one-man phase. Similar situations have been known in the past, as last year Gasly has had the same position in AlphaTauri. However, his teammate was a 21-year-old rookie, not a proven driver like Ricciardo. Things have gotten to an extent where Zak Brown has had to publicly express his disappointment in Ricciardo. For things to be even more spicy, he said that the performance that Daniel is recently having just goes to show how good Lando is. Norris is perceived as the superstar in the team, and even the series Drive to Survive has shown some intern rivalry between the two drivers. However, they were quick to dismiss these rumors, as they said that it's just a TV show at the end of the day and they have to gain new viewers one way or another. With that being said, it's more than known to the F1 world that Ricciardo is currently in a bad mental state when it comes to performing in F1. Things aren't easy to understand because he's a proven driver and situations like this shouldn't happen to him, not in a car that could at least fight in the midfield. Ricciardo himself said that he doesn't want to fight for position 12 or position 14, and along with his team, he is constantly pushing for an improvement. However, the improvement in his performance is nowhere to be seen, and the narrative of "it's just a new car, he'll get used to it" starts to fade away. 2022 season has seen some new drastic regulations, and many drivers have said that it's like they are driving a totally new car. And they are right, the cars now weigh more, tyres take more to heat, and the phenomenon of porpoising is still a mystery for some teams, including McLaren. Therefore, Daniel doesn't have a valid reason for his underperformance when it comes to car settings or updates. So, one couldn't notice that Brown and the team are genuinely losing their patience with the star driver. They paid some good amount of money for his driving skills, and he's been driving like a rookie in the first 7 races in the season. Talks about his possible departure have started to emerge, and certain places are available for him if he decides to sack the team earlier this season. However, will this be a good decision for him? Probably no, because no team wants a driver that gives up so early in the season. Yes, it's a new season, and with the new cars and the situation that Ricciardo is in, it may take him some time to get used to certain things. Also, he's always under the pressure of performing better, and he may not be the best pressure deliverer in the paddock. I mean, if you put yourself in his shoes, you would have a hard time fitting them. Yet the patience is running away, and the team doesn't have all the time in the world to wait for him to unlock his performance. Therefore, if he was to depart early, which teams would use his services the best? One team that could get him is AlphaTauri. Now that Perez has signed an extension with Red Bull, it's more than certain that Gasly won't be signed to them, and he may not have the patience to stay in the toxic relationship he has with Red Bull. Therefore, he may look for a way out, and he's been linked to McLaren or Alpine if Alonso was to decide that enough is enough and retire. A swap between Gasly and Ricciardo is a very likely possibility, as Ricciardo will be able to return to the sister factory of Red Bull, the place where everything started for him. However, this might have a big psychological impact to him, as it may refer that he is already near retiring and he'd have to accept his role from a potential championship team to a midfield one. As mentioned earlier, Alonso might be out of Alpine if he decides to retire. That leaves one place, as Ricciardo would be more than happy to return to Renault. The director is new and it's not 100% sure how Ricciardo will blend with the new ownership, but the possibility is there and he hasn't been fully dismissed. However, Daniel said that he has a deal with the team until 2023 and he plans to stay there until the contract ends. He also said that there are some points in the contract that the team respects, but other ones that they don't. Therefore, it's a mixed relationship between him and his team. As we mentioned earlier, that giving up so early in the season without a fight would hurt his resume badly. So, what's next for Ricciardo? Maybe he'll be able to unlock some pace in the middle of the season, or possibly starting from the next race. We are off to Baku on the 12th of June, and we all know the famous overtake Ricciardo did here, as he passed 3 cars just by late braking. This has gained him the nickname the latest of breakers, and Baku is a race that will surely bring a huge morale booster to him if he manages to score some good points. Until then, stay with us as we'll try to cover more interesting topics that revolve around the F1 world.